Have you ever wondered why some people wake up with energy, purpose, and unstoppable confidence, while others start their day with stress, doubt, and hesitation? What if the way you start your morning is the key to transforming your entire life? Most people open their eyes and immediately grab their phones. They drown in notifications, emails, and news that fill their minds with noise before they even take their first deep breath. They rush through their morning already feeling behind, already feeling lost in the demands of the world. But what if you did something different? What if you started your day with the one who created it? Stay with this video until the end, because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn a life-changing truth. One that has the power to bring peace into your heart, strength into your soul, and clarity into your mind. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to start your day with God. You'll feel the power of it. The first thought of the day shapes everything. Your mind is like a garden. The first thought you plant in the morning is the seed that will grow throughout your day. If you plant stress, negativity, and doubt, they will take root and shape everything you do. But if you plant faith, gratitude, and purpose, your entire day transforms. Science backs this up. Studies show that the first 5 minutes of your day set the emotional tone for the next 12 hours. If your mind is filled with chaos in those first moments, that chaos follows you. But if your mind is filled with peace, that peace stays with you. And there is no greater source of peace than God. So ask yourself, what do you want growing in your mind today? Fear or faith? Worry or wisdom? Doubt or direction? Every morning is a gift. Treat it like one. Every single morning you wake up is a miracle. Not everyone gets this chance. Not everyone opened their eyes today, but you did. Your heart is still beating. Your lungs are still breathing. That means your purpose isn't finished. That means God is still writing your story. But how often do people take this for granted? They wake up complaining. They wake up focusing on everything that's wrong instead of everything that's possible. They wake up carrying the weight of yesterday instead of stepping into the opportunities of today. What if, starting today, you shifted your perspective? What if, instead of treating your mornings like something to survive, you treated them like something sacred? Because that's what they are. Every sunrise is God's way of saying, here's another chance. Here's another page in your story. What will you do with it? The power of starting with God. When you start your day with God, everything changes. The noise of the world gets quieter, the stress loses its grip, the distractions lose their power. Because when your first thought is of God, He sets the direction for the rest of your day. Imagine waking up and before reaching for your phone, before checking messages, before even stepping out of bed, you take a moment to acknowledge God. You whisper a prayer. You thank Him for the day. You ask for wisdom, for strength, for guidance. You align your heart with Him before anything else has a chance to influence you. This simple habit has a profound effect on your mindset. It trains your brain to operate from a place of faith rather than fear. It reprograms your subconscious mind to expect blessings instead of burdens. It fills you with a sense of purpose before the world tries to tell you who you should be. And here's the truth. When you prioritize God in the morning, He prioritizes you throughout the day. He clears paths you didn't see. He opens doors you didn't knock on. He strengthens you for battles you didn't even know were coming. A decision that changes everything. Right now you have a choice. You can wake up tomorrow the same way you did today, reactive, distracted, and disconnected. Or you can wake up and make a decision to start your day with God, to give Him your first thought, your first breath, your first moment. Because when you put God first, everything else falls into place. Not instantly, not magically, but steadily, powerfully, unshakably. And if you stay with this video, you'll learn exactly how to do this. In the next sections, you'll discover the practical steps to transform your mornings, the secret to overcoming fear with faith, and the powerful mindset shift that will unlock a new level of peace in your life. Because your morning is not just another routine, it's a foundation. And when you build that foundation on God, nothing can shake you. The way you start your morning is the way you shape your life. Every habit, every thought, every small decision in those first few moments builds momentum for the rest of your day. If your morning begins with stress, that stress multiplies. If it begins with faith, that faith strengthens you. Your brain is most powerful in the first 20 minutes after waking up. Scientists call this the alpha stage, a state where your subconscious mind is wide open, absorbing everything like a sponge. Whatever you feed it in those moments, worry or wisdom, chaos or clarity, that's what it will carry into the rest of your day. Think about how most people start their mornings. They wake up, immediately check their phones, and flood their minds with notifications, messages, and news filled with fear and negativity. Without even realizing it, they give control of their day to the world instead of to God. And that's why so many people walk through life feeling anxious, lost, and overwhelmed. But it doesn't have to be this way. You have a choice. Imagine waking up and before anything else, grounding yourself in God's presence. Before any outside noise enters your mind, you fill it with His peace. You remind yourself that today is a gift, that you are not alone, that no matter what happens, God is in control. This one shift, choosing to give your first moments to God, can change the entire course of your life. Because when your mind is aligned with Him, your decisions become clearer, your emotions become steadier, and your purpose becomes stronger. Your mornings are sacred. Protect them. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. And when you give your mornings to God, you set the foundation for a life that cannot be shaken. The moment you wake up, you have two choices: to focus on what's missing or to focus on what's given. Most people choose the first. They wake up already thinking about their problems, their struggles, their stress, and because that's where their focus goes, that's what fills their day. But what if instead you started your morning with gratitude? Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a mindset. It's a way of training your brain to recognize the good in your life even before you see it. Science has proven that when you practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that boost happiness, reduce stress, and rewire your thinking toward positivity. And here's the truth: gratitude is a spiritual weapon. When you thank God first thing in the morning, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance, from worry to trust. You stop focusing on what's wrong and start seeing what's right. Think about it. You woke up today. That alone is a gift. Your heart is still beating. You have breath in your lungs. You have another chance to grow, to change, to become better. How often do people take these things for granted? They wait for something big to happen before they feel grateful. But real gratitude doesn't wait. It speaks before the blessing arrives. Start your morning by thanking God not just for what you have, but for what He's doing that you can't even see yet. Thank Him for the strength He's giving you, for the doors He's opening, for the battles He's already won on your behalf. Because when you begin with gratitude, you don't just change your morning, you change your entire life. Prayer is not just something you do, it's a connection, a direct line between you and God. And when you start your day with prayer, you take control of it. Most people wake up and go straight into survival mode. They rush, they stress, they react to everything around them. But when you begin your day with prayer, you shift from reacting to leading. You no longer walk into the day wondering what will happen. You step in knowing that God is already ahead of you, guiding every step. Prayer is not about saying the right words. It's about aligning your heart with God's presence. It's about surrendering your worries, your fears, your plans, and replacing them with His strength. When you pray, you are no longer relying on your own power. You are tapping into something far greater. And here's the most powerful truth. When you start your morning with prayer, you activate faith. You remind yourself that you are not alone. You declare that no matter what comes your way today, you will not be shaken because you are walking with God. So before the world grabs your attention, before stress has a chance to take hold, pause. Take a moment to pray. Ask for wisdom. Ask for peace. Ask for strength. And then step into your day knowing that God has already gone before you, because when you start your day in prayer, you don't just survive the day, you conquer it. Fear is the first thing that tries to greet you in the morning. The moment you open your eyes, your mind starts racing. Worries about the future, doubts about yourself, stress about things you can't control. It's like a shadow that tries to follow you before the day even begins. But fear only has power if you give it your attention. And that's why you must choose something stronger: faith. Faith is not just believing in God, it's trusting Him. It's waking up and deciding, No matter what happens today, I will not let fear control me, because I know who is in control. Science shows that fear activates the stress response in your brain, flooding your body with anxiety and tension. But faith does the opposite. When you choose to trust God, your mind shifts from panic to peace. Your body relaxes, your thoughts clear. You step into the day with confidence instead of worry. Most people let fear set the tone for their day. They start with thoughts like, what if things go wrong? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But faith asks different questions. What if today is the day everything changes? What if this challenge is preparing me for something greater? What if God is already making a way even when I don't see it? Fear will always whisper lies, but faith speaks truth. And the truth is, no matter what today brings, you are not alone. God is already ahead of you, already working, already preparing a way. So when fear knocks on your door in the morning, don't open it. Instead, step forward in faith. Because when you choose faith over fear, you don't just change your day, you change your destiny. The world is loud. The moment you wake up, there are distractions pulling at you, social media, news, responsibilities, endless to-do lists. Your mind gets cluttered before you even take your first deep breath. And in that noise, peace feels impossible. But peace isn't found in the absence of problems. It's found in the presence of God. Most people think peace is something they will feel after everything is perfect, after the bills are paid, after the problems are solved, after life finally slows down. But real peace doesn't wait for the right conditions. It's something you create by making space for God in your heart. And that's why mornings matter. When you start your day with God, you don't let the world decide your mood. You don't let stress or distractions steal your focus. You set the tone. You take control. Science proves that the first thoughts of the day shape brain activity for hours. If your morning starts with chaos, your mind stays in a reactive, anxious state. But if your morning starts with stillness, if you take a moment to breathe, to pray, to invite God into your day, you build a foundation of unshakable peace. Peace is not something you chase. It's something you choose. So before the world gets loud, before stress tries to take over, pause, be still, invite God in. Because when He fills your heart, no storm, no pressure, no challenge can take away your peace. Yesterday is gone, no matter what happened. No matter the mistakes, the disappointments, or the things you wish you could change, it is over. But too many people wake up still carrying the weight of yesterday, letting their past control their present. But here's the truth. Every morning is God's way of giving you a fresh start, a new page, a new chance. You don't have to keep reliving the past. You don't have to hold on to regret. You don't have to let yesterday's failures define today's potential. Psychology proves that holding on to past mistakes fuels stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. The more you replay old failures, the more they shape your identity. But letting go creates mental clarity, emotional healing, and renewed motivation, and that's exactly what God wants for you. Think about this. God doesn't remind you of your past, He reminds you of your future. He doesn't define you by your failures. He calls you by your potential. So why keep carrying what He has already forgiven? Wake up each morning with a decision to release what no longer serves you, to forgive yourself, to forgive others, to stop looking back and start moving forward, because God's mercies are new every morning, and today's not yesterday. Today is a fresh opportunity to grow, to become stronger, and to walk in the purpose God has for you. So let go, step forward, and embrace the new beginning that is already yours. Words have power. The words you speak in the morning shape the direction of your entire day. Yet most people wake up and fill their minds with negativity. I'm so tired. Today is going to be hard. I don't feel like doing this. And without realizing it, they set themselves up for failure before the day even begins. But what if, instead, you spoke life into your day? What if you started your morning declaring strength instead of weakness, faith instead of fear, victory instead of defeat? Science proves that self-talk shapes your reality. The way you speak to yourself influences your emotions, your actions, and even the way your brain functions. When you declare positive, faith-filled words, Your brain releases chemicals that boost confidence, lower stress, and increase motivation. But this isn't just science, it's spiritual truth. God's word is filled with declarations of power, victory, and purpose. When you wake up and speak His promises over your life, you invite His strength into your day. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "God gives me strength for today." Instead of saying, "I feel lost," say, "God is guiding my steps." Instead of saying, "Nothing ever changes," say, "God is working in ways I cannot see." Your words are like seeds. What you plant in the morning will grow throughout the day. So choose wisely. Speak life. Speak faith. Speak victory. Because the words you choose will shape the reality you live. Every morning you wake up with a choice: to drift through the day without direction or to step into it with purpose. Most people wake up feeling lost, just going through the motions, reacting to whatever happens. But that's not how you were meant to live. You were created with a purpose. You were designed for something greater than just existing. And when you start your day knowing that your life has meaning, everything changes. Psychology proves that people who wake up with a clear sense of purpose experience higher levels of motivation, focus, and emotional resilience. They don't just survive the day. They take control of it because they know that every moment, every challenge, every opportunity is shaping them for something bigger. And here's the truth: God has a plan for you. You are not here by accident. There is something in this world that only you can do, something that only you can bring. But purpose isn't found in waiting, it's found in action. So wake up every morning and remind yourself, I am here for a reason. I have something valuable to give. Today is another step toward becoming who I'm meant to be. Because when you live with purpose, you don't just go through the day. You own it. You move forward with confidence. You embrace challenges as part of the journey. And you wake up knowing that every single day is another step toward your destiny. Your mind is the battleground where every victory and every defeat begins. The thoughts you allow in the morning shape how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how you live. That's why protecting your mind is not just important, it's necessary. Most people wake up and immediately expose their minds to negativity. They check the news, scroll through social media, and let the world dictate how they feel. Without realizing it, they start their day in a mental storm filled with comparison, fear, and doubt. But you don't have to live this way. You have the power to guard your mind. You have the choice to control what influences you. Science confirms that your thoughts create neural pathways in your brain. The more you think a thought, the stronger it becomes. That means if you constantly feed your mind with fear, worry, and negativity, those thoughts will dominate your life. But if you feed it with faith, hope, and truth, those will become your reality. God's word says to renew your mind daily. That means choosing thoughts that align with His truth, not the world's lies. Instead of letting fear control you, remind yourself, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Instead of dwelling on problems, declare, all things are working together for my good. Your morning thoughts set the foundation for your day. Protect them. Choose what you allow in, because when you guard your mind, you guard your peace, your focus, and your future. Motivation fades. Some mornings you wake up feeling inspired, ready to take on the day. Other mornings you feel tired, unmotivated, and tempted to fall back into old habits. This is where most people lose. They wait until they feel ready before they take action. But success, spiritually, mentally, and in life, isn't built on feeling. It's built on discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the choice to keep going even when it's hard. It's waking up and putting God first, not just when you feel like it, but because you know it shapes your life. Science shows that your brain forms habits based on repetition, not emotion. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. That means every time you push through discomfort, every time you choose prayer over distraction, gratitude over complaining, or faith over fear, you are rewiring your mind for success. And here's the truth: God blesses consistency. Breakthroughs don't come to those who quit when it's inconvenient. They come to those who show up daily, who stay committed even when no one is watching, who trust the process even when they don't see results yet. So don't wait for motivation, create discipline. Wake up and commit to the habits that will make you stronger, wiser, and closer to God. Because when you master discipline, you don't just change your mornings, you change your life. Excuses are the enemy of progress. They disguise themselves as reasons, convincing you that you're too tired, too busy, too overwhelmed to start your day with God. They whisper, "You'll do it tomorrow. Just 5 more minutes of sleep. You don't have time right now." And before you know it, another day slips away, unchanged, unfocused, and unfulfilled. But here's the truth. Excuses will always be there. Growth won't. Psychology confirms that the more you justify avoiding something, the stronger that avoidance habit becomes. Every time you give in to an excuse, your brain rewires itself to make quitting easier. But every time you push through, every time you choose action over avoidance, you train yourself for success. Think about this. If something is important to you, you make time for it. No one is too busy to check their phone, to watch TV, to scroll on social media. The issue isn't time, it's priority. So today, decide that your relationship with God, your peace, and your growth are non-negotiable. Refuse to let excuses control your life. Refuse to let temporary comfort steal your long-term progress. Wake up, take responsibility, and move forward. Because excuses will always try to hold you back, but discipline will set you free. Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about having a perfect life or knowing all the answers. True confidence comes from one thing: knowing who you are in God. Most people start their day with self-doubt. They wake up thinking about their weaknesses, their past failures, their fears. They let insecurity shape their actions, and as a result, they play small. But here's the truth. You were not created to live in fear. You were created to walk in confidence. Science shows that your posture, thoughts, and words influence how you feel about yourself. If you start your day believing you're not good enough, your brain will find reasons to confirm it. But if you start your day with confidence, if you remind yourself that God has equipped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for what's ahead, you will move differently. You will act boldly. You will show up with authority. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's faith in action. It's waking up and saying, "I don't have to be perfect, because God's strength is made perfect in my weakness. I don't have to have all the answers, because God is guiding my steps. I am not walking into this day alone. God is with me." Stop letting insecurity hold you back. Stop waiting for the world to validate you. Wake up, step forward, and own your day. Because you are not average, you are chosen. And when you walk with God, you walk in unstoppable confidence. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a mindset, a way of seeing the world that shifts everything. Most people wake up thinking about what they lack, what's wrong, or what's missing in their lives. They focus on problems instead of possibilities, and as a result, they carry stress, frustration, and negativity into their day. But here's the truth. Your mind will always find what it's trained to look for. If you focus on problems, you'll see more problems. But if you train your mind to see blessings, your entire reality shifts. Science proves that gratitude rewires the brain, lowers stress, increases happiness, and boosts resilience. And spiritually, gratitude opens the door for more. When you recognize God's goodness in your life, you align yourself with His abundance. Start your morning with gratitude. Before the rush of the day takes over, take a moment and say, "Thank you, God, for waking me up today. Thank you for the strength to face this day. Thank you for the lessons in my struggles, the growth in my challenges, and the blessings I sometimes overlook." Gratitude is not about having a perfect life. It's about recognizing that even in the middle of imperfection, God is still working. When you shift your focus to thankfulness, you don't just change your mood, you change your mindset, your energy, and the entire course of your day. How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Most people go to bed carrying stress, regrets, and unfinished thoughts from the day. Their minds race with worries about tomorrow. But when you close your day with God, you release all of that. You find rest, not just for your body, but for your soul. God never intended for you to carry your burdens alone. He invites you to lay them down. Science confirms that reflecting on positive thoughts before bed improves sleep, reduces anxiety, and strengthens emotional resilience. Spiritually, ending your day with prayer and gratitude deepens your faith and prepares your heart for what's next. Before you sleep, take a moment to surrender. God, I give you my worries. I trust you with what I can't control. Thank you for guiding me today. Thank you for the lessons, the strength, and the moments of grace. Whatever tomorrow holds, I know you are already there. Peace doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from knowing who is in control. When you close your day with God, you wake up renewed, restored, and ready to step into the life He has prepared for you. End the day with faith, rest in His presence, and wake up tomorrow knowing that every new day is another chance to walk in His purpose.